Diane in Denmark here, and this is day number 22 of our getting back to school and back into our routines, or just to get back going again. Yesterday I was talking a bit about, routines and timing of things, both for you and for the kids. Today we're moving on to something different. We're going to be talking about uniform, and again, not just for the kids but for you, and food, planning ahead, for lunches, packed lunches, or making sure that you get a lunch. So anyway, let's start with uniform. If you're living in the UK, probably your kids have a dedicated uniform. They've got to wear a kind of school sweatshirt. If you're not in the UK, then they probably don't have a uniform, but you need to have a kind of, outfits that the kids can just kind of pick up or look at the night before, that they have kind of ready to go. So let's think about all those things. And any of these things that I'm talking about today, make sure to add them to your list, the getting things done kind of list. So if it's something that comes up like uniform, you're thinking, oh gosh, Charlie needs some new shirts for school, get them on your list for errand day. Or maybe you think, or maybe it's something like, oh, Clarabelle needs some new shoes. We've got to measure her feet, discuss. Anyway, or if it's something, we need to get new swimming goggles, we need to order them online, put them down in that section. So keep your list handy. There's no point of trying to think, remember all these things. That's why we make lists and get them ticked off. Anyway, back to uniform. And we're not just talking about uniform. There could be sports equipment that the kids need. If they go to swimming as part of the school curriculum, that happens here in Denmark. Where is their swimming kit? Has it ended up in the bottom of the toy box? You never know what you're going to find there, single shoes and stuff. What about swimming goggles, football boots, all those type of things? Don't get overwhelmed by it. Let's just kind of think ahead. What do they need when they're at school? What about school bag? Do you maybe need to replace the school bag? Have they tidied out the school bag from last term? Have a wee look in there, see if you can find it first. And also think about uniform for you. I've talked about this in, I have a series here called Wardrobe. I'll put it up there. I have several outfits planned that are just kind of hanging in my wardrobe, so I can just kind of grab and go. I also look at my outfit the night before. This is all part of, the routines thing. Maybe you don't want to be that planning ahead, but think about what is your uniform. I mean, it's been so hot in Denmark for the last 3 months. I've normally been wearing sundresses and very light things. Normally my uniform are a dark navy jeans and a top and a jacket, and some kind of statement necklace. That is my go-to uniform. So if the kids have their uniform, and what is your uniform? Because we really need to make it simple for you in the morning. Maybe you want to join us on Instagram, #Diane in Denmark, Clinton's channel name here, because we post pictures of our outfits, planning for tomorrow. So maybe that might a wee nudge or help for you to think, to think ahead. We also write down what we're having for dinner, and so you might get some wee reminders that way. What else was going to mention about the uniform? Oh yeah, so just think about all these things that the kids need: gym bags, gym clothes, a new school bag perhaps, and also things like a haircut. Maybe they need to have their hair trimmed, before they start school. So get thinking about that and get it down on your list. The other thing I wanted to talk about was food. Perhaps the kids get lunch at school, maybe they need money, maybe you have to order that. What about packed lunches? Do the kids pack their own lunch? I mean, I got my kids packing their own lunches when they were about 8 years old, or we would do it together. And what we used to do is we would pack it, when we're doing kitchen cleanup, once we've had dinner, I would be doing, shining my sink, the last thing in the kitchen, and the kids would be making their packed lunches, and it was kind of hoogly, we made it cozy that way, because we put on the radio and, kind of dance around and use up any leftovers that we had from dinner. And that way it wasn't, making packed lunches in the morning does not work for us. It's never worked for me, and also for the kids, there's too much going on in the morning and they're kind of slow risers. So think about packed lunches, but don't go down that road, you know, of going onto Pinterest, because right now, you know, social media is filled with healthy snacks for your kids, and I've been down that road. I've told you this before, where you know, I was threading bits of fruit onto sticks and in different colours, and it was meant to look like traffic lights. And the kids didn't give two hoots, you know, what the fruit liked. You know, if there was a banana there, an apple there, they were quite happy. So, you know, as usual with everything, KISS, keep it simple, sweetie. Don't go overboard with these things. We're just looking for a happy medium. But you will want to fit all these things into your usual routines. You can't make a packed lunch if you don't have food in the house. So make sure that you make your menu maybe on Plan and Play Tuesday and get it added to Errandy, so you can actually get some, you know, some healthy food in the house, so it's easier for everybody to make their packed lunch. And on the subject of packed lunch, because I know a lot of you, especially if you are working mums, young mums, even and those of you who are retired and feel that you don't need the schedule anymore, we tend to kind of veer off course a bit and think, you know, we make sure that everybody else has got their lunch and, you know, whatever, but we don't actually take time to have lunch for ourselves or make ourselves a decent packed lunch. So why don't you make up your packed lunch? I've done this before. After dinner, using the leftovers, I actually make a packed lunch, even if I'm going to be staying at home the next day, and I've actually got it ready in advance. You know, you've got to look after yourself too with all these things. I mean, this is the whole reason why I'm making these videos. Please look after yourself. You know, it doesn't take much, but I know sometimes we'll need a wee reminder. And the same again for the kids, you know, that they need to eat regularly. So, you know, plan for breakfast, lunch, afternoon snacks, dinner, but don't get too caught up in it having to be, you know, super healthy. Just make sure that, you know, they've got food, you know, feed your kids, and make sure they've got water every 20 minutes and they'll be quite happy. Let me see how long I've been talking for. Oh, right, okay, I'm going to stop it there because I wanted to keep these videos very short. And tomorrow, yeah, we're off to Sweden tomorrow. I'll try and fit in a video tomorrow. Yeah, I will be checking in with you tomorrow. But anyway, what else is it today? It's Tuesday. It is Plan and Play Day, so maybe you want to plan your menu for next week, or at least the next few days ahead, and plan some ideas of what the kids can have for their lunch. Anyway, have a great day. What else can I tell you? Oh, in Denmark here, we've actually had a bit of a respite from the heat wave for a couple of days. It actually felt quite chilly yesterday. It was only like 23 degrees, which is about, is that 73? Tomorrow they're predicting 37 degrees Celsius, which is like over 100 F. So if I'm not here, I have melted completely. So anyway, that's it for me. Diane in Denmark, may the Danish, live long and prosper, may the Danish hygge be with you, and I'll see you either from Sweden or Denmark tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.